The call came late in the afternoon, just as I pulled into the driveway of our new house. "Is this Daniel Brooks?" a raspy, older voice asked. "Yes. Who is this?" I replied. The previous owner. Look, I'm sorry to bother you, but I forgot something important." I almost hung up. Then he said it. There had been a camera hidden in the living room ceiling. He'd forgotten to disconnect it from the cloud before the sale. It had been recording. I froze. I only realized today when I opened the old feed by accident. I didn't mean to see anything, but what I saw, I think you need to know. My chest tightened. "What did you see?" There was silence. "Don't ask over the phone," he said. "And don't tell your wife. Come alone, I'll show you everything." I sat in the car for what felt like hours, staring at the house. Claire had decorated the porch with lights. Inside, her laughter echoed as her mother and sister unpacked boxes. I finally walked in. Claire smiled from the kitchen. "Hey babe, everything okay?" I nodded. "Yeah, just going to grab a few things from the store." I kissed her cheek, my heart racing. As I pulled away from the house, something felt off. It was as if the call had ripped away a thin veil over a life I thought I understood. Whatever that man had seen, it wasn't a mistake. It was a warning. The man lived about 20 minutes away in a faded bungalow tucked behind a gas station. When he opened the door, his hands were shaking. "I didn't mean to get involved," he said, ushering me inside. "But I've lived in that house for 30 years. It deserved better than what I saw." He led me to a cluttered desk and opened his laptop. I backed up the footage. "I'm not keeping it. Just thought you had a right to see." He clicked play. The living room. My living room. The date stamp read Tuesday. I'd been at work until 7 p.m. that day. Claire walked in, followed by her mother, then her sister Jenna. They opened wine and started laughing. Claire collapsed onto the couch. "I can't believe he fell for it. All that nonsense about starting fresh like it's his house," her mom added. "You did the hard part, sweetie. Now we just make sure he stays busy at work while we finalize the switch." "The switch?" I whispered. The video kept rolling. Claire pulled out a folder, power of attorney papers, and smirked. "You said he'd never notice. You were right, Mom." I sat frozen, staring at the screen. The man beside me lowered the volume. "There's more, but you get the idea." I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. Power of attorney. They weren't just laughing behind my back. They were cutting me down from the inside while smiling in my face. I stood slowly. "Send me the full file," I said. Every second. Now I had a plan, and I wasn't going to be fooled again. By the time I got home that evening, everything looked normal. Claire kissed my cheek and asked if I grabbed milk. Jenna was helping organize the garage. Her mom was baking for the neighbors. It all seemed real, like I was the one pretending to live here. I watched them. Every movement, every fake laugh, every polite word now felt tainted. I nodded, smiled, and played along. What they didn't know was I had the video. I had the evidence. I wasn't ready to confront them. Not yet. I needed more. Over the next few days, I acted distracted, tired, busy with work. I planted microphones in the kitchen, the hallway, even under the dining table. I wired a backup feed into the router and upgraded the original cloud storage without anyone noticing. They were too confident to suspect anything. That's when the real conversation began. "Jenna, you sure he won't contest it?" "Claire, he's pathetic. I say we wait 3 more weeks. Once the funds move, he's useless." Her mom added, "Then we cut him off. Clean. Tell him we need space and sell the house." So my house. That night, I sat in the garage staring at the glowing laptop screen, fists clenched. My mouth was dry, my heart cold. They weren't just planning betrayal, they had scheduled it, and I was funding it. I opened a blank spreadsheet. Step 1, hire a private lawyer. Step 2, quietly reclaim every asset under my name. Step 3, give them the performance of a lifetime. The lawyer I hired worked in a quiet office on the edge of town. Harold Maddox, a seasoned estate attorney. No flashy suits, no small talk, just sharp eyes and airtight documentation. I didn't tell him everything yet, only enough to start. "I'd like to revoke the power of attorney I signed 3 months ago," I said. He frowned. "You realize doing this without notice could raise suspicion?" "I'm counting on that," I replied. We filed the papers the same day. Harold advised making copies, storing them safely, and moving personal assets under protection. Bank accounts, brokerage accounts, and most importantly, the deed to the house. They thought I was blind. By Friday, Every major asset had been redirected. All that remained were empty shells, the ones they circled like vultures. Next came the bait. That weekend, I walked into the living room with a big smile. "Guess what, Claire? I just got a raise. A big one." Her eyes lit up. Jenna clapped. Her mom said, "Knew you had it in you." I leaned into the act. Fancy dinners, a new suit, even a thank you bracelet for Claire. They thought they had time. They thought they were winning. What they didn't know was I already controlled the stage. They were just reading lines in a play I was directing. I needed only the final act. 2 days before their plans switched, I overheard Claire on the phone in the backyard. "It's happening next week. He's completely in the dark. I've got the forged signature ready. His name will be off the deed before he even notices." I watched from the window, sipping coffee. Her whole life with me had been a con, a long play she was proud of. That night, I emailed Harold a complete packet: voice recordings, cloud videos, updated power of attorney paperwork, and the forged signature Claire thought I hadn't seen. "Prepare the final package. Emergency legal motion. Everything ready by Tuesday," I wrote. Quietly, Harold replied, "It'll be beautiful." I didn't sleep. The next morning, I invited them all to dinner at home. "Celebration," I said. The bonus came through. They bought it, book, line, and greed. I grilled steaks, poured wine, and wore the bracelet Claire had given me 6 months ago. They joked, laughed, toasted me, and I smiled the whole time. Until Jenna clinked her glass and said to Claire, "The future real owner of this home." They laughed. I stood, raised my glass, and said, "Let's toast again next Tuesday. I'll have something special for you then." They cheered. They didn't know it yet. But Tuesday was the day everything they had built on lies would collapse. Tuesday arrived. I wore a plain gray shirt. No watch, no cologne, just calm. Claire came down in a red dress. Jenna was already pouring mimosas. Her mom was on the phone, bragging about this being the last week in someone else's house. They thought today was their victory. At 9 a.m. sharp, the doorbell rang. Claire looked confused. I opened it. Harold stepped inside with a thick manila folder. Behind him, a court officer. "Daniel, ready?" Harold asked. I turned to them. "Ladies, take a seat. You'll want to hear this." Claire scoffed. "What's this about?" The court officer unfolded a document. "Claire Whitman, you are being served a cease and desist for attempted property fraud and signature forgery." Jenna stood up. "What the hell is this?" Harold smiled faintly. "Also, Mr. Countess Brooks has filed for an immediate asset freeze on all joint accounts pending a fraud investigation." Her mom screamed, "You can't do this." I leaned forward. "Oh, but I did. While you were plotting to cut me out, I reclaimed everything. You own nothing. This house, mine. The accounts, mine. Even that bracelet on your wrist, bought with my card, I'll be taking that too." Claire froze. I added, sliding a USB stick across the table. "This contains all your recorded conversations. Copies are with my attorney, and the cloud backup is secured. Any retaliation goes public." The room went silent. I had declared war, and they already knew they had lost. Claire's face drained of color as the court officer finalized the paperwork. Jenna grabbed the USB stick as if she could erase what was already saved. "You're insane," Claire hissed. "No," I said calmly. "I was naive once. There's a difference, but now I see everything clearly." "Pack your things," I said coldly. "You have until sunset. This is our home." Her mother shouted, "No, it's mine." "Don't forget," I said, "the mortgage, title, utilities, and every account are solely in my name again. Your names aren't on anything. You gambled on a fake signature, and you lost." Jenna's voice cracked. "We were just trying to help Claire. She deserves more." "Then what?" I asked. "Building a life together?" She didn't want partnership. She wanted control. "I gave you respect, love, and trust, and you turned my life into a game." Claire tried to plead. "Please, Daniel, let's talk." "Not in front of them." "In front of them?" I laughed. "You involved them. You plotted with them." I pointed to the officer. "Escort them out if they aren't gone by 6. I walked upstairs. For once, silence followed me. Downstairs, the sound of drawers opening, bags zipping, and defeated murmurs replaced the venom they once spat with pride. I had reclaimed everything, but I wasn't done. The final piece would leave a scar they'd carry forever. By sunset, their suitcases were on the curb. Claire was last, mascara running, trying to comprehend how it all slipped away. I wasn't watching from the window. I was already downtown, in a glass high-rise boardroom, handing the final file to my contact at Wilkins & Rowe. the prestigious firm Claire had always wanted to join. "You sure you want this to go forward?" the partner asked. I nodded. "She forged legal documents. She used private client recordings to try to extort me. She tried to manipulate business assets," he exhaled. "Then she'll never practice law again." "That's the point," I said. By midnight, Claire's license was reported. Her internship offers gone. Her name flagged. LinkedIn already buzzing with questions. I sent one last message from a burner email. "You built your life by lying to mine. Now rebuild it from nothing." I deleted the address. Back home, I sat on the porch with a glass of bourbon. The cold air bit my skin, but inside, I felt clean. They thought they were smarter, thought I'd stay quiet, thought love meant I'd never fight back. I didn't just fight, I won. And the best part, they never saw it coming.